What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is Agree to Disagree, talking 10-9-8ers, and obviously previewing Eagles Chargers. Let's go.
Uncle Sweeps, Nick Delgado, the legendary Brian Wilson, and the fucking man himself, Tom Arnone. These three guys from Jersey bringing you real talk with no agenda. You don't like them? Tough shit. It's their show, and they're going to say whatever the hell they goddamn want.
Oh, welcome in, everybody. This is Agree to Disagree, only on A2D Radio. Every Sunday, you know what it is. Brought to you by our doc, make them yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, location in Burlington, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Find them right down there on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. As always, Nick Delgado. That's Greg Milakovic. I'm Tom Arnone. Everybody out there, let's go. Welcome in. We got a lot to go over tonight. Obviously, at the end of every Agree to Disagree, we do our crumb of the week. We'll do our college football announcements. They announced it. We'll discuss it. Might tie into some crumbs. I'm sure that's going to be fun. Stay tuned for that one, babe. All right. If you like a little fire, stay tuned for that one. Okay. Then what else we got? We got Eagles Chargers preview. Big one tomorrow night. Big one. Monday nighter in LA. You want to talk about a huge game? We're going to dissect it. But Sixers played tonight, so we figured, hey, why not tip it off? Sixers, Lakers, and of course, you know, they won 3 in a row. Anything but no better time. And so this is on us, technically, Greg, that we open Sixers because, of course, they lose.
Right.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Yep. And
100%.
Yep. And losing ties right into our poll question, if you want to be real. Okay. And his name's LeBron James because he looked like the vintage LeBron James tonight, especially in the fourth quarter. So, to the poll, tonight's game was LeBron's final time playing in Philadelphia. Yeah, I mean, he's retiring at the end of the year, isn't he?
It's not official.
It's not official.
It's not official. So it leads something to it for somebody to want to continue watching him.
Well, that's on me because I read this, like thinking, like, dude, didn't he already announce this? So if he didn't like fully make it official, then, oh man, and I guess it's a good question. You know, does he run it back another year? He got Luka here. He doesn't have to do as much, right? He's got some other players around him. He can sort of pick and choose his spots and give Bronny another year, maybe develop and get closer to actually like give a team minutes, right? I mean, there's some factors in that. Dude, I think the game's hard to walk away from when it's all you know. And if somebody's willing to give you another $25 million, right? $50 million, you know what I'm saying? Yep. Somebody wants to pay you more, right? Then it gives you another 2-year deal, right? Then why would he walk away from that? And go play 40 games a year, blah, 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 right? And just get ready for the playoffs. So I'll disagree. I'll say he's going to come back here again, but you know, tying into the night for a minute, you know, if he plays if he continues at moments like he did tonight, right? I'm a Jordan guy, right? Let's make that clear. But if LeBron, who's still a great player, all-time great, if he has moments like he did tonight, then why would you, like, as a player, why would you gang that up yet? If you're still able to have those moments, you can still play, right? A lot of guys can't have moments, period. A lot of guys like don't have moments. They don't know what a moment is. So if you're so capable in the fourth quarter, when we talk about money time and we talk about where the best show up, if you're still able to do that like you did tonight, you know, why wouldn't you? I know if the body wears out and all that. Sweep, you're muted. I don't know if it was me or I can't. You're muted. You got to unmute yourself. But yeah, now you're back.
No, I was saying, like, I don't think you're wrong. I just think then it's slippery slope if you start pulling like an A-Rod, you know, Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? Like, and people say, well, he can still play a little bit, can he? I mean, the guy's a shell of himself. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you know, there's enough bad quarterback play in the NFL that he gets away with it, but you know, he huffs. You know what I mean? He huffs. That's just call what it is. You know what I mean? Big win today in Baltimore against another fraud. You know what I mean? And this guy, spot on. That's where I was going. Didn't mind being muted.
Yeah,
You know, you can mute me the whole time if we got technical difficulties.
No, it was you.
Love you guys. Yeah. I'm just saying. Yeah, I guess I have no
You
idea.
muted. when you unchange, when you unplug.
I'm just saying that guy is 100% on.
Yes.
LeBron James is the biggest egomaniac on the planet, and he is getting his flowers from every LeBronite around. Everybody that can get two hands on it and deep throat it. That's what he wants.
You know what it'll probably be? You know when you go to like
sexuals.
homecoming. Hey guys, you know when you go to homecoming, you go to homecoming and they got the car, the convertible, right at homecoming.
Yeah. Rocking chair. He's getting a gift.
He'll have a convertible in there. And
he's seen Mariano. He's seen all the greats get their stuff. He's getting stuff, buddy. He's getting. Yep, agreed.
No question about it. So yeah, I mean, I disagree with the poll. Obviously, Sweeps disagrees with the poll. Greg, get to you so we can talk about Sixers and not LeBron James too much tonight. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I agree to the poll. I mean, you were sitting there. They're sitting there as fans and national media celebrating his 10-point streak or not, right, over the last week, and it broke, right? He finally didn't score 10 points or more in a game. So, like you said, Sweeps, he's a shell of himself. I mean, he still comes up big in times, right? We saw that tonight. But yeah, I agree. He's going to retire. He's going to use the second half of the year for his tour. He don't care about coming like to the East Coast. You know, he's gonna milk that. He's gonna milk that for his the home stretch down the end of the year.
All right, you say he's out. Okay, talk about the 10-9-8ers, like we like to do, on A2D period because we're junkies and I said it's sort of a great time to like be a Sixers fan in a weird way because you have the young players, Maxey, VJ, Jared, Q, Bona. You know what I mean? You got a lot of them. Obviously Jabari, Barlow. I mean, the list goes on young players on this roster, right? So, when you're getting younger and they're good players, it sort of refreshes things, right? It makes things feel like, hey, it's fun to watch again. And they were on a little 3-game winning streak, and they were playing well, right? And Maxey's unbelievable, and it is a franchise, no question about it. It's just continue to grow VJ around them because VJ's the answer to it. Like when we talk about the Sixers in a year from now, 2 years from now, and we're talking about Eastern Conference Finals, and we're talking about those things, boys.
Right.
We're going to be there because of Maxey and VJ. Like once VJ gets, VJ's played more in his first 2 months of the NBA. He's played his whole life. You know what I mean?
And then he should have.
Yeah. So, but he's played well. Right, he's been good. His 3-point shots way better than people were giving it credit for coming in. So he's looked the part and some. But my point of it is, he's still going to grow. He's still going to put on more muscle. He's going to get stronger. He's going to get more calls because he can hang up at the rim for 10 minutes, right? And I believe these two guards are going to be the guys that get us to where we want to get to one day. And it's going to be other things around that. But I believe in these two guards, right? And I think McCain's a good bench piece, and I think Quentin's a good bench piece. You know what I mean? I think they're good young guards that you want off your bench as an instant offense, right? So when you look about building this roster more moving forward, but right now, it's weird because PG gives you a lot. Rice is dead.
Yeah, I thought so too. He popped back up, but
he's back. But so I think it's great because it's weird because PG gives you the defensive perimeter defense that you need, but so does Oubre. And not having Kelly for a while like hurts his team in a lot of ways because he's giving you 18 a night when he's playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was playing well when he got hurt to start the year.
Yeah, Kelly's a really good piece to this team. So when you get Kelly and Paul out there, right, you feel really good, a lot better about your perimeter defense. You got one guy who was a first-team All-Pro, and he still can do it. We've watched it. I've watched it. He can still D up when he's healthy. And then Joel the fact that he's even playing is ridiculous because he shouldn't be. Like, we didn't even expect him to be playing this time of year, coming off of what we thought they told us that injury was. But tonight was his worst game. It was atrocious. It wasn't even atrocious because it was good shots. And I want to talk about it on air. Like, Maxi's getting doubled, and he's getting his shots at the the free throw line area, and they're just in and out, right? A little too hard, a little too soft, so he just wasn't hitting them, obviously, but he was able to tie it at 105. But it's a long game with that guy. But Drummond's played great, man, and I keep saying it. I'm open to trading Joel Embiid yesterday. And it's not because I hate him. That's my guy. I'm glad he brought Sixers basketball back and gave us hope for a long, long time. And I feel bad that his body failed him, right, at this point in his career, because he's such a great player if he's healthy. But it's past due, and it's been past due. I don't know if they ever do it, but if they don't do it, man, I just hope can get to a point where he's 75% of what he was. Because if he is at any point with these guards and Tyrese, as good as Tyrese is, and he said it, Joe said it. He's like, it kills him not being himself because Tyrese is
the other day, right?
Yeah, and PG said the same thing. This kid's giving everything he has, man, and we got to be here to help him. And I think it puts pressure on these guys to play more. And Joel never has a problem wanting to play. That's never been an issue. Paul's a different conversation. PG's a different conversation. But Joel just never been healthy, man. It's crazy. But this roster's fun. Forget those two. We talked about that. Forget those two. I really enjoy watching this basketball team. And when they play, that's fine too. But I really enjoy watching everything else around it and just hoping we can keep growing it. Drafting right, growing players. I said Rico Hines is a great player developer. Always has been. Developed a lot of really good players in this league. This staff has. So let's keep developing guys. And, Maxey isn't even into his prime yet. We're talking about 25. Primes, that 5-year prime's 27 to 32, right? So we're not even there yet. So VJ's got another 2 years to continue to develop. For Maxey's even better than he is now. Think about his game. His game's going up every fucking year, boys. Every year, his points per game, numbers, everything. There's my rant. I love watching this kid.
You just know it's not Joe's game. It's never has been his game. But sometimes in your career, you gotta change things. We've always called for, hey, you need to be a back to the basket guy. And I understand that wasn't who he was. All right, so he was a little bit special where he could take a guy away from the basket and he can hit the elbow jumper. 9 out of 10. That was his thing. Okay, so. But what they say when the legs go, right? That's as a shooter. When the first things that go as a shooter is the legs. So we know he doesn't have any knees, So you obviously got to play around the rim, you know what I mean? And he's never been a great rebound for his size because I feel like he's never in there. You know what I mean? He's never in there enough. You know what I mean? So, but if he could ever find a way, let's talk, like you said, okay, 75%, but I don't want the 75% of the guy you were. Give me 75% of a new guy, all right? Reinvent yourself, right? Because we got the perimeter. The perimeter, we got it blanket. I don't need, we lose a game tonight by 4. You're 4 for 21 and 0 for 6. Don't need it, bro. Don't need it, right? Everybody had, like you said, he had open shots that he missed. Okay, that's part of the game, right? That's not anything intentional. You missed some shots, right? But if you take those 6 shots and somehow you're playing underneath the basket, all right, and you get 3 layups, we win the game.
He missed those too, by the way. Just to confirm, he wasn't making it. He missed a couple where you're like, he had Austin Reeves back to the basket and did a weird fadeaway on him. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? What are we doing, bro?
Get into somebody and go to the line.
Hey, mouse in the house. Mouse in the house. What are we doing? So sweeps, we're both at the point of tired of him. I know Greg is too. So, we're all at the point where we're just tired of it. But, listen, man, I want what's best for him. It's not tired of, him, the talent or the player he was. It's tired of, hey, I can't watch you like this. Right? It's
YK was what we were talking about pre-show, too. Absolutely. Bingo.
Yeah.
No, just, we mentioned it. It's hard to do. It's hard to take a guy from the status he was. But, to me, it's when you got a substitution game, it really doesn't matter. I've said that a million times. Everybody wants to start and get the intro like Cass. 4 doors down, he got the fucking intro. All right, the guy's 4 years old, he's already into the fucking intro. Fantastic. And that's fucking huge. Right? But when he's old enough to understand, we're going to tell him, hey, little fella, hey, little man, right? It's about who's on the court at the end. Okay, if you're grabbing some pine, it didn't matter that you got a great intro. I'm from North Carolina. Cassius Arnone. Oh no, I want a guy who's finishing games, right? So it doesn't matter to me. That, substitution sports. Who cares who starts? Are you playing valuable minutes, right? In crunch time.
Well, when's the game? Last 5 minutes. So when's the most important part of the NBA? Last 5. And Luke, you're not wrong. Need to figure out what's up, brother. He goes, need to figure out McCain minutes. He's like, I get it. There's 4 guards and Grimes has looked good, but we're slowly burning his development. I think we are and we're not. I think just him revving him back up too, Luke. I think he's been a part of it too, like they talked about. But you're not wrong. I mean, you got to find minutes for him. And like I said, I don't think Tyrese, when PG's healthy, I don't think it's smart to run Tyrese 38 minutes, right? So that's my philosophy. Like I run more. Like, because lose Milwaukee. In Milwaukee, I don't miss games because he loves watching them. Cassian, that is, right? He loves watching games. So I definitely don't miss them now. But the fact of the matter is, right, when PG's on the court, let him run your offense. Let him be the guy that gets doubled and gets everybody else involved. Because the most underrated part of Paul George's game is getting everybody else involved. Paul George isn't a piggy. Like a lot of guys are volume guys and piggies. He's not a guy like that. Make sense? He's an all-around player. That's what's made him the player he is, right? He's an all-around player. So let him run your offense more, right? And let McCain, that gives McCain more looks, right? That gives other guys, the guard plays more looks. And now you're running Tyrese 32 minutes a night. Make sense?
We were.
Yeah. 100.
No, absolutely. And we were hoping, Tommy, as we talked through the first part of the year, that when these guys started to come back, some of these minutes would level out a little bit, right? Because you have so much at the guards, right? You got 4 guards that could all be really productive with the ceiling, obviously, of Tyrese. So we were hoping that the minutes would level out because, you look at Tyrese and VJ and Quentin, they played so much in those first few weeks while Joel and PG were out and McCain was out, right? So they played so much that we need to dial it back a little bit.
Yeah, but KZ, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean like being the point guard. I meant being like the main focal point of an offense, right? So my bad for saying that wrong. But I meant like PG is the main focal point of your offense when he's out on the court and say Tyrese Maxey is not. That's what I mean by that. And that gives the whole conversation is how do we get Jared McCain more minutes and more run to grow as a player, right? Because we want that from our young guys. Well, that's not playing Tyrese Maxey 38 minutes in the regular season, and especially in December, right? Like when we're talking about February, March, April, different conversation, babe. You know what I mean? When I if I gotta make sure I'm in the playoffs, then you're revving guys' minutes up. But this time of the year is about feeling out who does what, right? I think they'll get to that. And in Nick Nurse's defense, he hasn't had Paul George enough to do what I'm saying anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to be able to rely on him enough to be able to do this, right? So that's the other factor, because when you don't have Paul George playing, and you don't have Kelly Oubre, how can you do that? Like when you don't have the wing guy to get, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you got Paul back and you lost Kelly.
Yeah,
you haven't had them together.
Nick said, guys, can even said the other day, can we just like can I get guys like trending the play instead of every time I get guys back, I find another guy's going down. He's gonna be great if we could just get everybody back. And and we're close to that. We're really at Kelly and Trendon Watford away from everybody playing. And I like Trendon Watford too. He's another player I like. And teammate wise, you hear great things about him too. About he's a vocal guy. He's constantly talking on the court. You need guys like that if you're going to win games.
For sure.
You need vocal defend guys. And he's like a smaller Joel Embiid in a weird way because his game is like slower, but he's got good footwork. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And we've seen big minutes out of guys that you didn't really pay attention to coming in the year, like Watford and Barlow and I know Justin Edwards was on the team last year, but you You didn't expect some of these minutes that you're getting from some of these guys.
Yeah, you really didn't. Yeah, well, this is but like that's the problem, Luke, because he's still running. He runs to run Tyrese, 38, 40 minutes a night because he feels like these games are must wins. A lot of them because they're being close games. And his defense and his weird defense, I think he's been forced to play him more because he hasn't had the second fiddle. He hasn't had the guy you're like, okay, who's giving me who's getting me a bucket right now? Like when I need a bucket, who's doing that? He isn't like in Nick's defense. I'm just making a Nick Nurse defense. Like he hasn't had the other guy. So I mean, maybe he's got to give McCain the chance to be that guy, but he has in a way, and McCain hasn't shot the ball great. So you know what I mean? Development goes both ways here, right? In a weird way. Jared McCain is still a rookie in a strange way here.
Oh, definitely is. I mean, he only played 15 games, something like that last year.
Yeah, so I'm like, he's still a rookie. So I mean, how many minutes did he get tonight? Let me look. Let's use tonight as an example. He got 13 tonight. So I could do a little bit better than 13, but
yeah,
when
in
you're
that
going
20 range.
But like, let's go to Milwaukee though, right? God damn it. Let's go to Milwaukee because I feel like he played way more than 13 in Milwaukee. Why am I back on the same damn game? Hold on.
I got you.
No, I'm here, babe.
23.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? Like, click on his average a game. You can find it too, on like he has average.
Yeah, 12, the last 4 games he's been over 20.
Yeah, but let's put it this: he's averaging 18 minutes a game in 14 games. Now, keep in mind when he first came off, he was really running low minutes, right? Yep. So, like, I would like him to be like when it's all said and done. To Luke's point, I would like him to be around the 24-minute mark, which is another like 6 minutes, right? Or at least like 22, another 4 minute. But I don't think that kills. Like if you're getting 18 minutes of NBA action as like a rookie per se, it's definitely not killing your development. What kills your development if you're not out there at all? Like,
well, I mean, compared to last year's 25 minutes, in a 23 game sample size, right? He averaged 25 minutes last year.
Yeah. And I think part of that's coming off an injury, 2 injuries,
sure.
And they're easing him back.
Sure.
Like they said they were doing. So his minutes have slowly gone up besides tonight. Tonight you could have, and that's a problem, Luke. Yeah.
You should never not play the third. Come on.
Yeah. Especially when we got outscored again by 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We get outscored all the time.
Yeah. Don, I mean, I guess I would trade for Zubak, but I don't need that because like I have Andre and Bona. And I like those guys, what they bring, but I would take Zubak. Listen, for Joel, now I can't trade him to the Clippers because they don't have picks anymore. But I got to find somebody that has unprotected because I'm not if Rudy Gobert gets 7, right? I want at least 3 back for Joel. I'm not going to be a pick because it's time, right? So give me 2 unprotected and a regular first. All right, maybe a swap first, something like that. Okay,
swap you too.
And then obviously we got to match salaries and get guys back. And I hope to get guys back that are coming off deals, right? So it opens up money for me organizationally. They go get more role players, be able to sign Quentin Grimes, right? Be able to keep guys like Kelly Oubre down the line if you want to keep him, or just other young guys you want to bring in that aren't like I don't need stars. I just want to build good players, right? That's how you win. You got your star, and hopefully VJ becomes one too, right? But you got your 1 star and your rising hopeful star, and then you spend that money on just pieces around it, right, boys? Like that's what you do, and you draft well. And now you got picks coming back, right? Now you got unprotected from hopefully what's going to turn into a bad team, and maybe you get lucky. All right, next thing you know, you're in the top 5. 1 out of those 3 picks, and now you won that deal.
Get out of
right?
here. No,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe you get 1 out of 3 in the top 5 and 2 in the lottery, and you're like, well, guess what? All you got to do is hit on one of those guys. Hit on one of those guys, and you essentially won the deal because of the money you shed. If that's the way you're looking at it now. If you're at the point where you're completely out as a fan, like I'm sure a lot of people are in the chat, you know. Yeah, KZ, they're so bad in the third. It's YK Tommy. I don't think we get one unprotected for Joe because he's never healthy. Yeah, that's true. But again, there's dumb presidents of basketball operations, and there's dumb GMs out there. So, and there's dumb owners that want to try to sell tickets, and there's organizations that might feel, oh, we're Joel Embiid away, right? So that will play Russian roulette with it. Make sense?
Yeah, and you look at those mid-level teams that exactly, Tommy, are what they perceive as a superstar away. You know, like the Kings. I bet you Golden State. I bet you could talk Golden State. I don't know what you're getting back from them, but Golden State would love a guy like that.
And dude, if it's a good player I'm getting in the deal, like just a good player, then I don't want 3 picks. Then I'll take 2. You know what I mean? Like then I'll take 1 unprotected and another pick. Like you know what I mean? At this rate. Like if you're giving me guys that can bring something to me, like let's go old school. Like I'm getting a Harrison Barnes and I'm getting some and like another good player, right? Then I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm trying to do anyway. So I'm not looking for a million picks. It's about who wants it, who wants them, and then what am I getting back to? Because at the end of the day, I don't want just everything to be, hey, I'm just getting a bunch of expiring deals because, okay, I would rather get a player or 2 of some substance and then expiring deal or 2, you know? Like, that's how I would want the deal. I don't want a star back. I want somebody that's probably overpaid a little bit, but that's a good player. And then we can crush him.
Yeah.
Right. And we can crush that guy.
Welcome to the gauntlet.
Luke's calling Toronto. Maybe they can try to push some chips in this year. I would, you know who I would really call?
Ghostbusters. So.
No, I'll call Milwaukee.
Get Giannis.
And I'll give them picks. You understand? Like I'll give Milwaukee picks. So I'll give you Joel and I'll give you picks. You can have some of our picks. I'll go unprotected to you because I'll put Maxey and Giannis together and let's go play ball. And he can go travel around the country and wow, spacing. Spacing will be fun with that. You know what I'm saying, guys?
That it will be. Yeah.
Like that's what I do. I push my chips in that way. I say, hey, we'll give you Joel for him, right? And we'll give you picks. So now we give you 3 unprotected. We're not going to be in the lottery anymore with Maxey. So we'll give you 3 unprotected. Getting him back? Would you guys do that one?
Now you're getting aggressive.
Would you guys do that or no? Are you trying to move on from him or not?
No, I don't mind the premise. I'm just not giving all of it up.
For spelling bee or something?
Yeah, spelling bee.
You're not giving all that up, Greg, for spelling bee?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I don't think you have to. The other side of it, if you're giving Joel, I don't think you have to give up 3 unprotecteds.
Well, I'm saying if they're like, well, the injuries and this. Well, I guess you can say the same thing for him recently too. Yeah.
And plus, they don't have any leverage anymore. He don't want to be there.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So maybe that's
and who does want to be in Milwaukee, right?
Nobody.
And he's a guy. And listen, I guess I would probably take that back only because I can give 2 shits about picks and all that stuff. But he's a guy that he's not only is he a superstar, but he's got to have the ball in his hands all the time. You know what I mean? And then is that take away from Maxey again? You know what I mean? I know we're trying to take him off the point and give him some breaks, but you know what I mean? Like I think Maxey's a guy that needs the ball in his hand. You know what I mean?
And I don't need. And then what does that do to VJ?
He's a playmaker. Right? Yeah. So.
Yeah, but what does that do to VJ?
I take it back. I mean, we need the right guys. I don't know where the formula is right now. You know what I mean? But we have the perimeter play, right? So we know that we need a big guy. You know what I mean?
And we got 3 of them on the roster.
Yeah, we did.
Right. So I mean, at this point, you can look at it 2 ways, right? You don't get anything back for him, and I think that gives VJ at the moment, right, like a good chance to continue to develop into the player we need him to be, and maybe like fast track it a little bit faster by giving him these minutes in big moments per se. Because I think we're second in like the amount of like close games we played in the league down the stretch, which is pretty crazy. So this kid's played a lot of big minutes, and I think it helps you grow, right, as a young player. So, and I think Joe understands, which I like, because you don't know if what you get back will understand this, that it's Tyrese's team.
Yeah, well, he said that. Yeah,
Like even though he shot it 21 times, again, these are open looks. It wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna be a pig, like it's my team tonight. You know what I mean? But like he's made it clear it's not that it's not his team at all, but you guys know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like Tyrese Maxey is the star of this team right now and the leader, and that's great. That's what we want. So he knows his role. So that I'm okay with. Like if I can't move him. Make sense? Like as long as you know your role, I'm okay with if I can't move you.
Shut your hole and know your role.
But let's just go and keep winning games because they played better. Would have loved tonight. Obviously, LeBron down the stretch was ridiculous. I mean, Don, what up, babe? It's been a minute since we whooped that ass. You know what I mean? Since we belt that ass. It's been a minute. We haven't belt much since. You know what I mean? We've been getting our ass belted.
Since you guys brought up Toronto and you want to make that phone call anyway, and you're giving up picks, give me Scotty Barnes. All right. And if we're worried about McCain getting minutes, then you just throw McCain in there and give me Scotty Barnes all day. There's your 6'8" power forward, right? Was what we need. We got perimeter guys, right? Now we need a 6'8" power forward that can score and rebound like a champ.
And pass well.
Yeah. Oh no, it does it all. Absolutely.
Yeah, I love Scotty Barnes. Great name. And another slow, get to my spot, is able to get the spots, isn't gonna, you know what I mean? He's just a good player. And developed by who? Rico Hines and Nick Nurse.
Rico, yeah.
Rico Hines.
Just throwing it out there, shits and giggles. First of all, KZ, don't tempt me with a good time, brother.
The bonus?
No, Giannis for Embiid works straight up.
Yeah.
Money-wise, so. And actually, Sixers would work out because it's 3 years versus 4 years for Embiid.
Yeah, and one guy's 31. What's Embiid, 32?
They're both 31.
They're both 31?
Yeah.
You could still trade him for something, too, because he's still 31. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because he's 31, you can still get it over on somebody. Hey, he's only 31. You know what I mean? Like, modern medicine.
No, but I mean, you're right. But this would be the year if you're just gonna, if you're looking rentalish, you know what I mean? Like you try to take a shot this year because with no Tatum, we know the Celtics are down. And no offense to Kate Cunningham, but the Pistons right now are the class of the East. I mean, I say that like Don, excuse me, sorry, bud. Didn't mean to piss in your Cheerios. They're playing fantastic, but this ain't the bad boys, all right. So, but are you scared of the Pistons? All right, but no Halliburton, no Tatum. This is the year of the injury. Guys are the two superstars right there that lead their teams, and both are like you're missing those guys. Like the East is what is gettable.
It's so gettable. That's what we said before the year. Like, this is wide open.
I'm not getting you there. Oh, sorry.
You would love to have these guys healthy this year because it's a year it's wide open, right? So if you could just get one of those two guys that be like a version of themselves, we're really good in the East, right? Like if George is healthy, we're really good. If Embiid's healthy, we're really good. Well, I think we got a better chance of maybe PG being a version of himself at this point. But again, I'll take any good players like Sabonis. Sign me up. Like if Sacramento's willing to put Sabonis in the deal, I'm in. Because he's another guy who will get other guys involved. He's like a power point forward in a way, right? And he's another do-it-all. He's another do-it-all guy. Is Utah trying to sell more tickets? Is that another place you can go to, right? Lori, are they trying to sell tickets? Like, I mean, there's places you can absolutely call. But if you organizationally feel like, hey, this guy this guy's getting, he's getting better, like healthier,
Yeah,
then that's your call. Like I can't answer that one for them. You know what I mean? That's up to them to make the right call there.
and that was my point with YK, that like you said, nobody's scared of the Pistons. So yeah, it is. The Knicks obviously are. We know we know who the Knicks are, but yeah, it should. The East could belong to the Knicks. Sure.
Yeah, Kate has been phenomenal, Don.
Yeah. Listen, I wasn't trying to throw shade. I'm just saying, maybe a little bit, because
we're just not used to it. We're not
yeah,
used to
exactly. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute, Don. First of all, haven't seen you in a while, and it's Kate Cunningham.
It's about the ass.
Kate Cunningham is a superstar. We know that.
You haven't seen him since Sunday night, babe. Sunday night, about the ass at Lincoln Financial. You know what I mean? And we haven't been the same since. YK, Knicks are the team to beat in the East this season, in my opinion. Definitely need a guy to get them. Yeah, I mean, they're good. Like Sweep said, they're really good. We know they are. And are we right? Can we beat them right now? Probably not. Like in a 7-game series, no. So you need to figure out a way to beat them. And I think if you move them on for a Sabonis, and like I said, if you move on from him for good players in return, you, like Sweep said earlier, I mean, why not? Why can't you be the 2 seed in the East, right? Like when the season's all done this year, like why can't you be up there? So I mean, that's what they're missing. I'm telling you, they're missing that other go-to scorer in a way, or just more length, like not length defensively only, but more length like in scoring period.
That's
like,
good. That's right.
You can have one real quick. You can have one guy drop 30 plus a night, and everybody else, and 5 other guys in double digits. You're going to win a ton of games. So it doesn't have to be that you go acquire 2 25-point scores. You go acquire 2 double-digit scores that can do stuff inside out a little bit more. You know what I mean? That's what you're looking for. Oh yeah, Lordy or Sabonis I think we're the best team in the East. Honestly, I think we're the best team in the East, because I think we arguably could have the best player in the East right now, because the real best player in the country is over in the West, and that's SGA. So,
Tatum's hurt, and so is Halliburton. So, puts Maxey obviously in the discussion, of course.
And obviously, Jaylen Brown. Yeah, he's obviously up there because he's a stud in Boston. There's other really good guys.
Yeah, it's a superstar league. I mean, Brunson's a superstar. I know how we feel about him, but he does.
Yeah,
he's their guy. You know what I mean?
He's a weird superstar. He's not a flashy superstar.
Yeah,
and you don't have to be.
Yep.
He wins games and he gets it done. He's another get the spot guy. He gets to his spots. He's, but yeah, I mean, any of these guys would be awesome. I don't know if it's realistic. Again, anything happens, but what I do think is realistic is the continued growth of the young guys, and just keep knowing like what we're trying to build towards. And if we win this year in ways that we want to win, then that's just house money. I look at it. That's how I started this year, right? Anything more than playoffs is house money. Like I expect the playoffs, right? I expect to be in the playoffs, but anything else like that is house money. So if you get a healthy George and Embiid at some point, great. Then maybe we can, you know what I mean? Then maybe for once we can.
We got PTSD, from all our years of second. We can't get past the second round, but I think this would be the year where you're like, okay, I get it. I mean, like I hear it. I mean, we wouldn't be happy about it, especially if we lost to, Knicks or somebody that we hate. But
it's tough, right? Like we do have that PTSD where it's like I can't trust it. And they're young now,
Nice.
So it's like now we're rebuilding. So like the only way we get over the hurdle is Maxey the star and Embiid 75%, like we were talking about, or 85%, and PG is 95% of the player he is, right? And then that's a team. Sure, that's a team in the postseason that can take anybody, right? They can play against anybody at that rate. But how can we trust those two? I can trust everybody else to be playing, right? How did anybody out there trust those two? Like, it's not that either one don't want to. Wayne, we're gonna talk about that in about 2 minutes. The talking heads and the Chargers, but either way, guys, it's been fun to watch. I've enjoyed it. Like I said, I've enjoyed it more.
There's a breath of fresh air with them.
There is,
yeah, absolutely.
And in a weird way, this has been like the perfect time to obviously, get Cass involved in them, which is cool because they're young, and it's like VJ's young. So like when you look at like Cass's timeline as a fan growing up, it's like VJ and Maxie are like his guys, which is perfect, for
in a sick way. In a sick way, it reminds me of when we were tanking. Like that was an exciting year for me, not because of the tank. Like I didn't want us to lose, but I was like, I know what we're doing. Like it just, I felt like we were in every game.
Yeah.
I felt like we were in every game, and then we were like, all right, well at least. We got to where we wanted to because, we were in every game and it was exciting, and then we lost. And I was like, fuck, man, am I happy about a loss? So, like, in that sense, that's not what I want this year. But I'm saying, like, I feel like I haven't been that excited since we really sucked. You know what I mean? Like, the dull, the freaking window that we've been in has been a nightmare, with the injuries and the disappointments and the missed number one picks has been nauseating. You know what I mean? So to Greg's point, it's a great adjective. It has been refreshing. You know what I mean? It has.
And the great thing is, like I said, it has been for me. So it's easy to say, hey, I want to get him involved now. Right. And then to go to games, even though we don't win when I go, but to go to games and to get him involved in it has drawn I'm even more involved than I even would be, which I'm always involved. Right. But I'm even deeper now. So it's been fun. It's been fun. It's been fun to see, like, again, you're trying to watch a guy like VJ grow, and Tyrese grow. So you're watching two guys grow. How's that not a good time? Yeah. If you're a basketball guy and you really love your team, that's the time where you love it the most. So everything else is just, listen, those guys are good to go, then let's go try to win some games, like more games, But if they're not, then hey, Tyrese, how many games can you win us? Right? VJ, how many games can you continue to grow in the fourth quarter in those last 7-8 minutes? So either way, great Sixers talk. We're obviously a show that talks a lot of 10-9-8. If you guys have anything more to add, do it for sure. If not, we'll segue Eagles
on the way out.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid, Eric Gordon.
Okay.
To Sacramento for Sabonis, Devin Carter, and Dougie Buckets. Dougie McBuckets.
And nothing else.
Well, it works money-wise. The Fanspo trade machine doesn't have picks anymore.
I don't need picks, but you guys do that straight up. What's the other guy's numbers? Clark.
Devin Carter.
Sorry.
Point guard. Not playing much.
Nah, West Virginia guy.
Yeah.
More of a defender. At least
just more. Yeah, no, absolutely. But he's making just about $5 million a year, so he's a cap filler.
Good ball, CJ.
He wasn't open or anything.
Yeah, good ball, man. I make that.
Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know that I do it. To your point, I don't know that I do it, but
I do it straight for Sabonis. I'm doing it for Sabonis.
I'm sure. Yeah. Then that's where you got to throw, because Sabonis is only making 42. Joel's making 55, right? Yeah, so we gotta find another 10 mil or so.
Yeah, Carter went to Providence. Different Devin Carter.
Listen, Sabonis.
Same game now.
Yeah.
So let's look at this, boys.
Oh, here's the picks. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Real quick. I don't need the picks. If you think about that, I want to say this real quick. Right. So Sabonis is only 29 years old, right?
Yep.
Obviously gives us that double threat. So this year, 17 and 12.
Yep.
Blocks and defense not going to be his thing, and not a guy who can really shoot the three ever. So I mean, it's sort of what we're looking for in a weird way. I don't know, what's your guys' thoughts on it? Is that enough for you guys? Are you guys good with that move on, or Is that not enough for you?
I would need picks on top of that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Me too. I just mean the players wise. Is that like it's a bonus enough to get you going a little bit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think so because he offers you something that Joel doesn't, and that's playing
And rebounding.
You know what I mean? Like like you said, he gives you a different game
and toughness. Yeah, absolutely.
And he gives you a down low game, which is like Sweeps was saying earlier, and I know you've said before, is with this group of guards, we need some guy just to sit down low.
Yeah.
When it was just one guard and Joel, then you understand why you're floating around the outside, right? But now with this team and the amount of guards that we do have and their ability, then we have to you need that guy that's going to be on the block, back to the basket.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer to me. Like, give me the picks back, right? Give me a couple picks, call it a day. I think that does what they need as a franchise. To sort of feel like they're going in a different.
They're killing Pat. Like Rice is dropping balls. I think Kelsey just dropped the ball. They were pick.
They're
killing. A little bit behind them.
But yeah, so I think I think it's a no-brainer. I think it takes us to where we want to go. We're not getting Joe production, right? But we're getting another that point of adding good players. We're getting 17. We got a guy who's going to fit a role, know his role. He's also a 2-time All NBA guy.
Sure.
I mean, this isn't a fraud you're getting back or anything like that. It's a damn good player. So, and I think if you can get a damn good player and picks back, how do you not make that deal? And now you add him, and then you keep George, and you just hope George is healthy. Man, and Oubre is a good basketball team.
Yeah,
it's a team that can compete with the Knicks, in my opinion. With that move, I do believe they can compete with the Knicks. But all right, Eagles.
I agree.
Eagles Chargers. So, what's the line for tomorrow night? Anybody know that one?
I think it's still 2.5.
Yeah, it was 3. Yeah.
Eagles plus Eagles minus.
Eagles were always favorite. I guess that part of it had to do with Bobby A.
-2 right now, according to Hard Rock Bet.
Yeah, this is my thing. Okay, because I keep saying it for a couple weeks now, or not even a couple weeks. It's really been 2 games in 5 days, right? So it's not even a couple weeks. But they're tough, man. Like, the one thing we know about them and the one thing they've always been is they've been a team that bounces back. Not a team that really loses 2 games in a row that often. And I think that's what got us all fired up over here, and the way it looked, obviously, fired us up as well. But it's a body of work, in my opinion, when you look at teams and you try to gauge when you go through something. Obviously, we can point back to 2023, but I want to look more over the body of work, how many games this team's won together. And I think what I've heard this week about practices and things like that, which I haven't heard all year, have really got me going a little bit and is making me really believe I'm going to get the Philadelphia Eagles that I think I know. Like, hey, the real Philadelphia Eagles stand up, and I'm going to get their best version. Monday night they had a mini bye built in. I think the rest only helps guys that had a long year last year. To try to those little bruises, the little bursts you might not have. I think you get those things back. So knowing all that, man, I want to say, like we said the other night, I think I was 31-21. Or I think I was 31-24, but I'm 31-21. I think they come out and play their best football. I really do. I want to believe it.
I mean, they have to. So, I mean, we're at the point where, I don't mean that to be comical. It's like, the old saying is, hey, man, don't talk about, be about it. You know what I mean? So, if you, you're talking about 2 losses in 5 days, all factual. So now it's, you had some time off, there wasn't any firing, there was some egging going on, which, class act, some egging going on, but, no other changes, to the football personnel. Just, just some fans being fans. But I digress. It's only 5% of the base, the fan base. But we'll see. Things. They need to execute. They need to not have double-digit penalties. They need to sustain some drives and run the football. I expect a Saquon game tomorrow. And that's kind of what you need. When you're trying to get back to your identity. And that's what we know they're banged up and nobody's taking that away from them. But I think we talked about it last week. You still have an identity, right? And if you're trying to be somebody you're not, right, then that's when you lose football games, and that's when you start getting your head kicked in, and then that's when people want to point fingers. If you get beat, if you get beat being who you are, then you tip your cap to the other team, right? But when if you're trying to get cute, and then you're all these self-inflicted bullshit that happens, like via penalties or turnovers. That's, fielding punts at the 1 yard line, that's all self-inflicted stupid shit, so, that's what bad teams do. That's how you draft in the top 5, when you do that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that's happening. I'm saying, this is an 8-4 football team, but that's what teams that draft in the top 5 do, so, no better time to wipe the slate clean, in a prime time game on the road, against a good football team, and to make an impact and make a statement, and if not, then we'll know that there is no more, hey, that was a quick turnaround, or this or that. This is there's no excuses now, so whether you expect their best shot tomorrow. All right. Will that, translate to a win? I don't know. Nobody has a crystal ball. But if you do if you do everything you're supposed to do, you would expect to win the football game and at least compete. And I think that's what Eagle fans have been looking for, the last couple of weeks. The compete gene was gone, and the sloppiness was gone, which starts, with coaching, and it starts at the top. If you're you're having all these penalties, you're not taking care of the ball. I know taking care of the ball is on the players, but when you're having you're all these penalties and all these self-inflicted wounds, that speaks to coaching. So hopefully those guys went in the room and came out with a different and a different game plan for tomorrow.
Spot on. Spot on. And I think a big factor in maybe run defense is the Jalen Carter news, right, about his shoulders. Yeah. Obviously would affect a little bit of how his season's gone naturally. So maybe him not playing will help it in a weird way, but not ideal. How long is he out for with that? What they say?
I don't think it's super long.
It said shoulders. It didn't give any time. It just said he was out for Monday. Shoulders plural.
They haven't put him on IL, so it's not it's not
so week to week.
Just one of these dudes out for this game. That's that's kind of what we got.
And Ajomo's good, right? Ajomo's playing.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll
get the Vanilla Gorilla. Back in.
Yeah, so listen,
Ty Robinson.
There's no excuses, right? There's enough guys healthy. Reed's playing, right? So you got enough guys healthy back there.
The injury list was very short this week.
Yeah, it's a week you got to go get, man. I know they're tough. I know their defense is good, but the one thing Justin Herbert is known to do is turn the football over, right? You got it. That's how I get to 31 points. I get to 31 points because this offense needs something more than anything they could ever ask for is a turnover in the other team's territory and capitalize off of it. Right, not like last week where they fumble it. Actually, capitalize off of it. Get 7 early. Right, they need that kind of 7 early just to kickstart things. Right, that's what they need. I think they just need that big turnover down in like the 15, 20, anywhere down there, 35, and go score a touchdown off of it. Right,
and it definitely is, Wayne. I think we would all we would all agree with you there, brother. I mean, it's not ideal, you know what I mean? But, we've seen them win a Super Bowl. That first Super Bowl years ago was, that mantra was, hey, next man up. So it's not easy. It's not fun, replacing a guy like Lane and obviously, Carter in the middle, but it's everybody's dealing with it, and other teams have dealing with it. Don, you say injuries to Don, and they'll be like, hold my beer. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure there's that many teams that are more banged up than them. And they got a monster win on Thursday. You know what I mean? So they got a monster win on Thursday. So kudos to them. So, that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? You got to just keep showing up and you got to find a way to get a win tomorrow. And that's how you quiet all the noise.
Yep.
Get back in the winners column.
That's it. Anyway, too. Right. Even if it's not perfect. Right. Even if it's not perfect, it doesn't have to be, 4 quarters of perfection. You got to go win a football game.
Yeah. You're right. I don't need them to look good. Just end the game 1 more point than the Chargers.
Yeah. Just I don't need.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice if they look good, right? Yeah. It'd be nice for the enjoyment of watching the game. But all you got to do is go back to what we were doing earlier in the year and just winning football games.
No, it's not. Not
especially in week 14. Yeah. So, I mean, you're 100% right. I mean, like, you want to win games in week 1, but, especially in week 14, when you're this banged up, when you're banged up, and you're tired, what I mean? And I know the 5 games in 5 days, but, I'm talking about now. You got a little rest now, but, this league is it's a physical league, what I mean? And it's long, 17 weeks is long. We know that. So, that's why you try to get, you need every one of your 53-man roster to contribute and do their job and contribute. And that's how you become a complete team. And that's what's going to lead to, like you said, doesn't matter what it looks like. Doesn't matter. I know it does to a lot of people, what I mean? Style points, that only matters to these college guys that think they're going to impress the committee. Style points don't matter in the NFL. You know what I mean? If you're leaking oil, yeah, I mean, like I think anybody with eyes will tell you, the offense didn't look good the last 2 weeks, right? AJ, he was full, belly's full, 2 losses, belly's full, right? Not blaming them, just saying belly's full. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's full, all right. And again, like you said it, they got to get back to what they do, and what they do is they run the football. And I said it every week, right? That when you're struggling starts not only with the offensive line, but it starts with your quarterback who can run the football, right? And I think that's where, that's where I need it. I need him to start taking off more. When he doesn't see things early on in football games, just go, dude.
Yeah.
Set it up, right? And have that weapon. Have that weapon there so you can actually set things up from it, right? And now you'll get more coverages you want and different things like that. So, listen, man, we're going to find out. We're going to find out about it.
Absolutely, bro.
It ain't.
And they got all the help they needed, right? We need you needed X, Y, and Z to happen. We needed Dallas to lose. They did.
Yeah, we got a Rams loss.
We got a Rams loss in there. Green Bay beat Chicago.
Yep, you're just getting a little bit of.
You're getting everything that you want or you need happening for you. So now it's time to go make it happen yourself.
Yeah, even if you end up as a 2 seed, you're still setting yourself up for at least at minimum. You're building. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're building, babe, and you can't ask for anything more than that. Even if you got to play 3 games. And you got the extra game, regardless. I mean, this team, I think more than ever, they need that bye.
Yeah.
Right. They need a bye. They are almost a team that needs, essentially, they're almost a team that could use 2 weeks off. Right. They get fresh. They almost do. But
I mean, like you said, tail of 2 Super. Oh, no, you didn't say, but I'm saying the tail of 2 Super Bowl guys now. How would you rather be 6 and 7? or 8-4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shit.
Yep.
It's hard, man. And that Super Bowl hangover is real for the loser. I don't care what anybody ever says. Like, that's a real thing. A lot of teams go through it. Chiefs are going through it this year. We went through it in 2023. It's not an excuse. Right?
No, of course.
You see, it's hard. You lose players when you don't win it too. And it's hard to just rebound from the loss of it naturally, right? Like, how do you rev yourself back up? Confetti, like, you try to, you think you are, right? You think you did everything. It's a hard one to rebound from. We'll talk college football here in about 2 minutes, Greg Miller, that is. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, some guys got to make plays tomorrow. Jalen's got to be Jalen. Saquon, even him, he's got to stop dancing so much. He's got to get downhill. I mean, if we're putting our head down and going and turning a 2-yarder into a 4-yarder, well, that's a win, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you talk about this offense, you're talking about every inch, right? I would love some other carries for some guys that are fresher. I've been yelling for that. I just don't know why. I feel bad for Greg, who hears it way more than anybody in the world, but I say it every goddamn week. Like give some other fresh legs some carries, man. All these guys average over 4.5 yards a carry, and none of them see carries. Like, make that make sense to me. Like, somebody, please. I know it's Saquon Barkley, but the history of running backs, I keep saying it. After those types of years, he's the only running back in NFL goddamn history that has won a Super Bowl for rushing for 2K. Nobody's done it. But the guys who have rushed for 2K struggle essentially the next year. Their numbers go down. So what do you think the guy who wins it all and plays more games, what do you think his numbers are going to do then? Oh, I got an answer for you, analytical fucking idiots inside NovaCare. His numbers are going to go fucking down. That's how that's going to work. Okay? That's how that works. So if nobody understands that, I can't help you anymore. All right? I want that mother effer clipped too. I want that clipped because that should be clipped. Maybe we got to get that out there more. You know what I mean? Maybe that's got to get out there more. Maybe Howie hasn't heard it, and when he's going through his reels at night. I don't know, Don, what his best game was this year. I feel like it was out of the backfield, like receiving. Hold on, let me look.
Well, the Giants one is the only one he had a big breaker. He had a 60-yarder, right?
Yeah.
The second Giants one.
Hold on, I got all his games right here. Yes, second Giants one. He had 174 yards. He had 150 on the ground. That was his best game. That was the only game he's been over 100. 60, 88, 46, 43, 30, 58, 44, 150, 60, 83, 22, 56. Yeah, had a big game versus the Giants because he had a long 65 in there.
Yep.
So, but guess what? It's a 38-20 win. That's who we are. That's what we need. If we have that, we're awesome. Even, Detroit, he grinded out 83 yards, right? He averaged 3.2 yards a carry. So that's not ideal. Trying to look for other solid games. There just isn't any.
There isn't. That's it.
Kansas City was solid. He averaged 4 yards a carry, 22 for 88. Not great, but I thought he. In Dallas, he had a bunch out of the backfield. He had seven receptions, 52 yards, about 7.4 yards a reception.
Don, I would say the Texans. The Broncos are very good, but the Texans defense is awesome. Just nasty. I mean, they're 8-5 because of them. You know what I mean? And CJ looked good tonight, but their defense is awesome.
Yeah.
You believe Blake Corum's going to shut your season down for the Eagles defense? 32. Wow. All right. Well, listen, we want to.
Blake Corum plays for the Rams.
Yeah.
He doesn't even play for the Chargers.
Maybe he's talking fantasy.
Yeah, maybe he's talking fantasy, but it's
fine.
Fantasy
Football. Here we go.
Oh, okay.
My bad. My bad, babe. I'm over here thinking
Hampton back, or is it just Fidel?
Yeah.
I don't know. It probably just Fidel. Omar.
I've seen Hampton come across the bottom, but I didn't know if he was out or not.
No, I
They do
got you.
expect him to play. They do expect him to play.
Okay.
Defense, I got you, babe. My bad. It's on me. That's on reading the prompter wrong. Hey, hey, I'm a kid. Hey.
Ron Burgundy here. Ron Burgundy are known. Fucking
I read it all.
teleprompter.
I read it all. Don 3-3-1, 3-1-1. Crying emoji. I just read through it. So listen. I mean, listen.
A whale's vagina.
Good birds talk. I don't got really anything else to add. It's a response game. It's time.
Yeah. And they answer.
I mean, Sweeps nailed it. Greg, do you got anything deeper you want to touch on before we get to just what's been released here in the college football world and
nope.
Get to our crumbs and look at us. We might get out of here at an hour 30 tonight. I can say it.
Let's talk about those crumbs.
Well, let's get to the playoffs announced and
let's
give our predictions. I want to go through predictions.
Yeah.
I sort of want to see who everybody's got left standing. So
see, this guy should have to do an interview with that helmet on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm happy for you, buddy. Safety first, healthy first, right? But I can't look. I can't look at these guys with the Gary Gazoo helmets. I can't. I just can't do it.
Oh, I love it.
Insane.
I love it.
Gotta wear it. You gotta do an interview with it.
Who's got it on in that game?
5. The guy that absolutely, put Ray Rice in the downtown Kansas City, and he had a pick. Petrie, good player. It's outrageous, Greg. I mean, you've seen Romeo Dobbs. I can't even look. If Romeo Dobbs was related to me, I wouldn't even talk to him. I wouldn't even talk to him. There's no way that helps. There's just no way. You would never convince me. Oh, you put this on, put this sock on, put this fucking nylon rubber on your head, all right, and it'll help you. Get out of here.
All right, so here's the matchups for anybody that lives under a rock. First round matchups: James Madison's got to travel to Eugene, Oregon. That'll be a fun one for them. December 20th, 7:30. I think we're all agreed that that's an Oregon win.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. No surprise there.
Now here's a good one. Number 9 versus number 8. Alabama travels to Norman to face Oklahoma. Who do you guys got on that one?
Give me Oklahoma.
Everybody's bitching about Alabama even being in it, right? And they didn't look good this past week, obviously.
They'll probably win, of course.
Yeah, give me Alabama for that reason. Just because of that. This is a fun one though. Tulane, and obviously coach still coaching. Goes to Ole Miss where the coach ain't coaching. December 20th. Good old Oxford, Mississippi.
Yeah, there's still enough there. I mean, even if they want to, even if they decide they don't want to show up, or they're only 50% of Ole Miss is better than Tulane. Even though they got a veteran quarterback, but give me the Rebs.
Yeah,
give me Ole Miss in that one.
Roll job.
Yeah. Miami travels to College Station, face Texas A&M, 10 seed versus 7.
Texas A&M beats them up.
Yeah, give me A&M as well. So,
and then you're going to hear everybody crying again.
Notre Dame would have did better. Yep. All right, so now you go to the quarterfinals. Okay, Oregon then would travel. Well, not travel, it's the Orange Bowl. That's January 1st. They'd play Texas Tech. So it'd be Oregon, Texas Tech. It would be 2 12-1 teams facing off. Who do you guys got? Who's going to the semifinals?
Tech's good, man. Give me Tech.
Just to see somebody different. But Texas Tech's defense is really good.
Yeah, they really are.
I mean, they boat raced really good BYU team twice.
I find myself, for Cass's sake, let's go O's probably.
Yeah.
Let's go O's.
I do like Dan Lanning, but Texas Tech Texas Tech's pretty damn good, man.
Well, we talked about it off air. I know Texas Tech. I like Texas Tech a ton. I'm gonna go Oregon here. If we want to call
the
it
O team. I love it. Like with kids. Did the O team win?
Yeah. The other day he was calling BYU to Wise. I said we're not going to be a fan of that, buddy. We're going to sit the Mormon side out. Okay.
3 wives. Get after it, Cass. Get after it, buddy.
So depending on who you had, if you had Bama winning or if you had Oklahoma, they go Rose Bowl versus the biggest story in college football. The Indiana Hoosiers and not their basketball team. Number 1 team in the country, number 1 team in the playoff seeding wise.
Yep.
Who do you guys have in that game, depending on who it is?
Defense is no joke. Indiana, Mendoza, he does enough. And then, obviously last night, that's two juggernauts last night. So, but Indiana, I think, surprised some people last night. Either team needed it. It was, if you wanted just to hoist the trophy, it was probably better for Indiana. We know Ohio State's got 1 million of those. So I don't think they were less motivated. You'll see. You would probably see a different game if they wind up matching up again. In the finals. But Indiana, that defense is no joke, and I like them in this game.
Yeah, it's weird because there's been games where Indiana has played really well, and then there's been games obviously where they struggle, and naturally that's college football, right? With 18 to 22-year-old kids.
Yeah.
But I think you give them enough time, you give them enough preparation to be ready for whoever it comes. Yeah, give me Indiana right now.
And I agree with you. Like sometimes you can your offense can bog down and stuff, especially if you're playing a good opponent. But that defense travels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That defense is really good, man.
I look back at the Penn State game, right? Like, how did you struggle and almost lose to Penn State in the form that they are? But again, college football on the road, neutral site. You give multiple weeks to prepare.
Yep.
Kirk Cignetti's a really, really good coach.
Yeah, but even bigger than that, you win that game, right? Like you win that game, and that's
you did win
moment.
that. Yes,
like, they had moments this year. Listen, when you're going, if you're going 13-0 and you're playing the schedule you're playing in the Big Ten, listen, man, hats off. I don't care if Ohio State was playing at 50% last night's speed, right? You still slayed Goliath, which has always been something that you never thought they could beat.
Sure.
Right?
I thought last night would have been a boat race, to be honest with you.
A lot of people probably did.
Yeah, no, you would think that it was the class.
Or maybe a touchdown, right? Maybe not a boat race, but touchdown, 10 points, right?
And I agree with you. I didn't think their defense was, I didn't know how good their defense was. I didn't watch them enough, you know what I mean? So, we all got 1,000 things going on in our lives, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I haven't watched enough Indiana games to realize how good their defense really is, So I got to see that up close and personal last night. But yeah, absolutely. You thought maybe that would be the class rises to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me Indiana there. So I got Oregon, Indiana matching up in the semis.
Spellman, would you go away, please?
Yeah. And then
I'm sleeping spells.
We all got Ole Miss, Georgia.
I got a pacifier in, and I'm dead asleep, bro.
I got Georgia beating Ole Miss there. I think Ole Miss little run comes to an end.
Yes.
In that game.
Especially when you're not going to have your head coach.
Ole Miss, Georgia.
Oh, yeah. Georgia, what they did yesterday, just put them back in the conversation. You know what I mean?
It sure did. It sure did, Sweeps.
They're always a blue blood, but what you did yesterday was, revenging a loss earlier in the season at home. I get all that. But to hold an SEC powerhouse to -3 yards rushing, that's the definition of a woodshed. All right, that's you look it up in the dictionary, and you're like, "Hey, man, I got a dictionary here, and there's woodshed." And yesterday was a woodshedding. Right, that's a bully. Take your lunch money job yesterday, right? And that's kind of what we were talking about. Like, yeah, we don't want to penalize Alabama. Or believe in penalizing teams for the conference tournament. You know what I mean? Because then guys are, then there's no incentive to play in one. Guys could get hurt. We understand all that. You know what I mean? So you hate to see that, come into play. But yesterday was, I think Greg was, alluded to it, when we were talking earlier, like, was the way they lost and the woodshedding, that kind of would make me, if I was on that committee, say, have second thoughts. You know what I mean? I don't know if I want to put these guys in, like we don't want to penalize them, but they didn't show the fuck up. You know what I mean? They got fucking embarrassed yesterday.
Or the committee looks at Georgia that
sure.
They're that good, right? And and the revenge and beating a team twice.
Sure.
But everything you said,
I need a little fight.
yeah. You said the eyes.
If I'm a team, I'm going to put in. I need some fight. And there just was no.
No, you nailed it because your eyes need to tell you more. Your eyes need to tell you more in that game.
And I'm a big fan of I think we all are of tipping the cap and saying, hey, listen, sometimes you can throw haymakers, and you're either outclassed or you walk into one and somebody knocks you the fuck out. You know what I mean? But this was a case of Georgia won all 12 rounds. Somehow Alabama, it was there was no TKO. They somehow kept stumbling up, but they didn't land any punches. You know what I mean? It was unanimous on the card.
It was.
It sure
all right,
was.
To cut this down, I'm going to just go have funsies. I'm going to say Oregon, Georgia is my final that's for Cass. Oregon and the G's, the dogs. And I'm going to go with.
So you have Oregon beating Ohio State?
Would it be Oregon beating Ohio State?
Or is Georgia beating Ohio State?
Georgia's beating Ohio State.
Yeah, because I heard Caleb Downs not playing for what's his face, Ohio State. I heard Caleb Downs has already said he's not playing in the playoffs.
Why? Because of injury or
no? He wants to prep.
I'm prepping for it, babe. So what'd you play for this whole year? You fucking loser. All right. I mean that pisses me off.
That's a top 10. That's a top 10 pick, though.
I don't give a shit if you're the number 1 pick. I could care less.
I hear you, but we're in a different world.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison aging well too for opting out. Right? His NFL career is looking great. Just saying. Karma's a mother. You know what? And speaking of karma, I'm gonna go right to the Catholics. And not personal Catholics, the school.
This guy said it might have been false, Craig. I hope you didn't did somebody screw you again?
Maybe. I mean, no one screwed me. It's just scrolling Twitter as often as I do. Yeah, you might run into something. It could be true. I hope it's not right. I hope it's not true because he's a hell of a football player.
I would like to take back everything I said if it isn't. You know what I mean? I went in quick. Definitely didn't wait to pull the trigger on him.
Yeah, we haven't seen it. Have we seen it in the playoffs?
I don't think so.
We've seen it in the bowls. We know that's just it.
Right.
That's like changing underwear. We've seen it all the time, and we crush guys for that too. But we understand it. You know what I mean? Do you need to play in the Pop-Tart bar? No. The Pop-Tart bowl. I have Pop-Tarts on my head today. Greg got me fired up early on. So
yum.
Do you need to play in that? No. Excuse me, but I don't know if we've seen anybody opt out of a playoff run.
Yeah, he's saying ejected accounts, not 24/7.
Yeah, I didn't verify. I just saw it and ran with it.
It was 27 for sports, so they were just trying. Okay, but either way, who do you guys got winning the whole thing? I'm gonna go Georgia.
I had Ohio State, but I had Ohio State the whole way. But if they got to play Georgia, that defense is stupid. Give me Ohio State.
It's an uncomfortable game. Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't change. I want to change where I was all year. They were the best team all year, and I have a couple futures with them. As we know, sorry to do that to you, Ohio State. I went down the Greg route this year. Did a couple futures. Having a little fun with it.
They're fun, especially if they hit, right?
That's what I'm saying. Just let me get open. I mean, I think I got Ohio State. I got an Indiana. I got an A&M. And then I'm going to add a Georgia too. Right after yesterday's, absolutely.
Yeah, I would too, for sure.
I'm going to add a little Georgia. But so I'm going to Ohio State and Indiana rematch, and the Buckeyes get them.
Oh, nice. All right. Getting the crumbs. Like I said, it's the Catholics. It's Notre Dame. One thing, I'm not going to get too deep in the, you guys not making the playoffs, but when you lose 2 games, and you're at it, you don't want to get no conference, okay? And you don't control your own destiny by just maybe losing 1 game. If you lose 1 game, you're in. Okay, so I mean that's how that works. So when you cough up another one, all right, and you're not in a conference to be able to play a conference title game to give you that boost to get in, this is what you get. Okay, so you'd rather take the NBC money and TV money over securing a damn good football program, a great one, right? The ability to have automatic bids and not play this game and fully control your own destiny. Now, I say that, and they already can control their own destiny by losing 2 games. Okay, you can lose 1, but if you're going to go out of conference and you're going to play by your own fucking rules, okay, you better not lose more than 1 game, especially when your strength of schedule isn't anything to write home about.
Yep.
Isn't anything to write home about. So you can miss me, and now why you're a crumb isn't because of that. You're a crumb because your Twitter and your accounts want to come out and say you're opting out of any bowl games the NCAA wants to give you. As a team, you're doing that now. You're saying fuck you to everybody else, the fans who would still want to go watch it, the players who want to play football. You're doing that. Okay. All right. You're opting out. Fine. Man, give another team an opportunity. Whatever, man. Nobody's watching it anyway. But at the end of the day, what a joke. What a joke. And everything that's wrong with college football in terms of that move, saying I'm gonna take my ball and go home because I'm butthurt because I'd rather make more money off the TV revenue and not go in conference and share money. You know what happens to pigs? They get slaughtered, babe. That's what happens to piggies. So oink oink. Oink oink. You just got slaughtered. And I don't care. Like I said to you guys, I don't have a dog in the fight. Right? I don't have this favorite team that I'm anti any of them. Right? But the way they've acted and the non-conference bullshit to this day, and then always complaining when they don't get what they think they deserve. Are you a better football team than James Madison? Sure. Nobody's going to debate that you're going to beat them, right? Nobody's going to debate that. But on this list of teams, I can debate outside of Tulane maybe, and even them, right? But who are you definitely beating? Tulane won their conference because they're playing in conference, right?
Yeah,
James Madison,
rules, right?
James Madison, that large, won their conference, right? So when you look at that, okay, there are 2 teams you can beat. Nobody else. I think you're better than. You had a chance against Miami, you lost to them. Like, you're going to complain about Miami?
Their best win of the year was USC.
Yeah, it's not a great
or
win.
Pitt.
Not again. Come on. Pitt didn't even look like that size-wise. They belonged on the field with them. Like, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, you beat Purdue, Arkansas, Boise State, NC State, Boston College, Navy, Syracuse, Stanford.
Not a
on top of USC and Pittsburgh.
And the 2 losses versus
Miami and Texas A&M.
Yeah. So big boys. The big boys you lost to. So, I mean, how do you, if you're at it, now get in a conference and you can change what happens at the end. You can change those losses.
Yeah, no, you're, dude, 100%. And when you think about, like you said, the wins, sometimes we just focus on the losses. The wins are disgusting.
They're stupid. They're disgusting.
I mean, Vanderbilt's got to say, you got to be shitting me. Yeah. You're telling me Notre Dame was the first one out? How about us? We're in the SEC. It's the best conference in football. Best conference in football. When 10-2, right? You got to have a 4.0 to get in here. We know Diego. You
had to have a 4.0.
Yeah, wow.
Money trumps that now.
And how they're not the joke, right? How they're not the joke. Like, the only reason a 10-3 Alabama gets in over them is they got to the SEC title game.
Yeah.
Right. So that one has an argument against it. But the point is Vandy.
Alabama beat Vandy.
Yeah, but the point of that is,
so your Texas.
Which your great point, Sweeps, is Vandy has a better argument than Notre Dame does. Absolutely. Texas has a better argument than Notre Dame does. Yeah. Like, if you want to talk about who has arguments to be upset, now again, they didn't win their title games, so like you had opportunities. You guys blew that. So when you're talking about at-larges, like you're going to give an at-large to a Cinderella and James Madison. You're gonna show the masses that everybody really has a chance to get in here. Everybody really has a chance. You go have a great year. This was the whole point of setting this up. Was that you go have a great year?
I thought there was for sure was like an AQ, right? Was that
an automatic? I thought.
Which one, James Madison?
Yeah.
Was an at large?
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
They were the highest They were the highest ranked. I forget what the criteria was. Highest ranked G5 that didn't something like that. Let me look it up.
Yeah, but either way,
I hear you. I'm confused as well because I thought for sure that had some kind of conference, linked to it that was in the fine print. When they sell you,
they won the Sun Belt.
When they sell you the car, and it's a little tiny thing that says, "This team will get in if they do such and such." What I mean?
But it was a
There's no way
power. It was non-power at large.
Yes,
non-power.
That's what it
was.
Okay. Yeah, I knew there had to be something, right? Because you're not taking them over the other schools.
Because there's other conferences out there, obviously, to this conversation that could get at larges.
The ACC.
Yeah.
And that's why AK just
now
said
Virginia's
that.
in, they win.
Yeah,
Virginia,
that's what he said.
Virginia, wash your hands if they win. Now Duke. Now again, you can't lose 5 games and get in, right? To me, you just can't. Like James Madison earned that over you by losing 1. I don't even care. If you're a 2-loss team and you win, and James Madison's 12-1, yes, ACC all day, right? We all agree on that, right? But 2-3, I'll give an ACC 3 loss and win your title game, and you deserve probably to be in over James Madison.
Yeah,
right. Fine.
Can't lose 5. They're just like you said. They're just king crumbs because they just constantly contradict themselves. So the whole independent thing is because the money from the TV deal, right? You had a chance to go to a bowl game, which it brings in revenue for your school, right? But now you didn't want to do that because you guys are fucking pouting in your fucking diapers, right?
And they don't want to give the money to ESPN.
Bullshit.
They think them not going to a bowl takes the money out of ESPN's pocket.
Well, this is what they're doing the whole problem. This is why they're sitting out. Okay, because if they're in the ACC, they win that conference and they're in. Like this ain't hard. Like, and maybe they still. And somebody was joking earlier on one of my posts that like they could lose 3 games in the ACC too, and maybe they do, right? Like maybe they do. SEC, they're probably losing 5. like that's now maybe they recruit better and they get different types of recruits, but it's hard when you're talking about the academics.
And I just still don't understand. Right? Like I said, I don't do enough research on it to speak on it. So I'd have to talk to you guys about it or anybody else that would like to chime in. Like, I just don't understand the whole TV thing. You're telling me NBC is like, if you're in the ACC, we're out. That's it. We only want to telecast you, right? And now I'm sure, I guess conferences have TV deals. So part of me is not, completely a fucking dum-dum, right? But I mean, like, you're telling me NBC is like, if you're in the ACC, we're out. Like,
I don't think it's NBC pulling the strings.
Find a way to get it done. Okay.
I don't think it's the NBC. I don't think it's NBC pulling strings.
Okay. Because that's where I always see them. To me, they're exclusively on NBC.
No, that's the problem. The school doesn't want to give up the money. The school doesn't want to get in bed with anybody else. So the school's being a goddamn pig over it. Yep. And now players, staff, everything else pays the price of it. They all pay the price of it. And then what does that hurt? That hurts fucking recruiting. That hurts recruiting. Hey, why are you the last team out? Because our school would rather make more money for themselves over that, not realizing if I'm in the college playoffs year in, year out, I'm making that money up for my school. This is not hard. I can do the math from here. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no Ivy League degree. I can do it from here. The more you're in the college football playoffs, the more money you make and the more recruits you get. This is not a hard concept. If you're in the college football playoffs,
that's where I was like a little confused because I'm like, come on, dude. Like, wherever you go, you're Notre Dame. So whether you feel like you're elitist or you're better than everybody, okay, you still are Notre Dame, so whoever's showing you, you're going to, you have your fan base, you have your following, you know what I mean? So like, what the hell? You're going to get a TV deal wherever you go. You know what I mean? Just join the conference. And
I think they do it out of being scared too. Yeah. I think it's like a scared thing. Like they feel like they are elitist and entitled, right? That, it's Notre Dame, so we don't have to win a conference. This is what we do.
Yeah, and if we split those 2 big games to both of your points, right? Yeah. They played nobody. It's fucking Cupcake Central, right? So their argument is like, well, in week 2, Miami played Bethune-Cookman. Okay, well, your schedule fucking stinks too, right? You played 2 big dogs. You lost them both. What you were hoping for, all right, in your scared little pussycat world, is you split with the big dogs and you go 11-1 and you're in. Yeah. That's what you were hoping for. Yeah, that's what you were hoping for. Fucking so drink some more milk out of your fucking saucer. That's what you were hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be an outlier, you gotta be an outlier. You can't be like everybody else as an outlier.
That's it, brother. You got to stand out.
Like, fine, be an outlier, but you can't be normal.
Yeah.
You got to go 12-0. You want to play that schedule? You got to go 12-0.
12-0. I couldn't agree with you more. You got to tie hands. See, that's
especially when people claim that this year's team is better than last year's team. Yeah, and I don't know. I'm a hater of Notre Dame, so I'm always gonna never defend them. Right?
Every time they're in the playoffs, they get exposed. Right?
100%.
I just want to be honest with people. When they go play the SEC, right, or Ohio State, Big Ten, like when they go play the best of the best,
and that's why we trying to tell them. Like I was
their speed gets exposed.
Yeah,
that's why they refuse. That's why they refuse to go in a big conference. I'm just telling you how it is. That's why they refuse to go to a big conference.
That's what I was trying to say 2 weeks ago. Like you thought it was like, and that's why Frank Reich, he was an interim guy, but Frank Reich should have knocked him out 2 weeks ago. That's what I said. I said that on air. I said it. It had nothing to do with betting. I don't care. Marcus Freeman thought that was going to be cute to pass the ball with 3 minutes to go and just chuck it up all down the court instead of just hand it off and go home. He thought that was going to impress. If they scored one more time, that was going to impress the fucking the playoff board. No. Bye, Marcus. All right, and I think he's a good football coach. Right, but you got caught up in it. You got caught up in the stupidity. All right, and that's what you get. I don't want to hear anymore. Go cry.
Couldn't agree more. So yeah, there's my crumb. I think they're exactly what Sweep said too. Get the Saucer Cup out, total pussycats. Arguably one of the worst complaints I've ever seen in the history of college football or sports period. So they're one of the worst.
Did I say Morgan Freeman? I'm sorry.
Either way.
I thought I heard Marcus, but
I do like Morgan though.
Morgan's a goat, right?
Don, we are cooking today, babe. I appreciate you. And it's great to have you back. It's good to
have you. Now when you dust yourself off, all right, buddy? Good to see you, man.
Donnie came back on Saturday. We saw Donnie on Saturday. He made an appearance. Okay, yeah, it's good to see him. It was good to see him. Missed the guy.
Yeah, that's another good follow-up crumb is Kevin Stefanski too. Like Shedeur, say whatever you want about Shedeur. He had a good game against the guy who was, he was up against for the number one pick, and you go try to run some kind of trick ass play going for two. That the running back doesn't even know to play, which is amazing stuff. And you take a quarterback out and just threw a great ball for a touchdown. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is why you're a bad organization. Like, you know what I mean? Like, now you try to get cute. Just go for two with who got you down there, bud. I mean, rhythm and timing's real, but credit to, credit to the kid he's playing. He played well. He didn't stink, but Cam Ward hasn't played well yet. So, 5th round pick played better. NFL's funny, man. NFL's funny. Daddy and talking killed that one. Daddy and talking, but his interviews are getting better, man. I like him. So I think he doesn't take the bait. He does a good job of not taking it.
That he has gotten a lot better with. I will agree with you.
He's got charisma. So, I mean, it is what it is. He might not be able to play, but my point is like the coach is a moron. That was the only reason I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Coach is a moron, which we know. Like, it's dumb play call.
Yeah.
Obviously wasn't going to work. Didn't look like it was going to work. Well, maybe it does, but
yeah, I don't know if that worked against your defense.
You don't have a lot of space at the two. Like, you don't have a lot of space at the two to run plays like that. That's why I hate those plays. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not, you don't have space. You're not running it from your own 35, where you got guys playing cover two, freaking 20 yards back. You don't have it, man. You don't have it for those plays.
Yeah, and the way that started out, you needed space.
Yep. Running from the two. Hey, quarterback just threw a dart. Like, he just threw a dime to the tight end who made a fantastic catch. Went up and got it. And you don't go. And it's like, let's take him out of the game.
Yeah, it's the Browns being the Browns. A certain guy, we know Joey. Joey likes to chime in, and he's got Eagles. Eagles are on his brain. Jalen lives rent free in his head, and Eagles live rent free in Joey's head, and he can't wait to get to the keyboard to trash the Eagles and trash Hurts. But I mean, just look out your window. Like, what a horrible, horrible fucking organization the Browns are. You know what I mean? Like, the Titans came in there, whether whether you have offensive problems or not. Titans came in there and kicked the shit out of you, and you guys are supposed to have a good defense. You know what I mean?
Like, defense.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. Like,
they ran the ball down your throat.
Yeah.
They ran the ball down your throat. Like,
Tony Pollard.
I think Cam Ward had a bad game today. Like, I don't think he had a good game. And they literally ran the ball down your throat.
For sure.
Now I'm curious about Cam Ward if he had a good game or not. So I'm yeah, no, he threw for 117. Dude,
he hasn't had too many. He hasn't had too many.
117 yards, 4.2 yards in attempt.
Pollard 161.
Two TDs in the air, but he only averaged 4.2 yards a carry
for 161. Tony P, have a day, Pollard.
Yeah, he had like a 60-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, 65. I saw that one.
Yeah.
And then he just 25
He was
times.
stumbling, rumbling, fumbling at the end of that one.
They put in his belly 25 times. Their leading receiver had 28 yards. I mean, holy shit.
Is that DK?
Spears.
Or is that?
Spearsy, out of the back.
Backfield guy. Oh, Jesus.
Little 24-yarder out of the backfield.
Yeah, I'll say this about Cleveland, right? If Cleveland, and I'll leave this conversation here. If Cleveland's smart with the amount of picks they have, right? With the amount of picks they have, they would not draft a quarterback. They would just try to go surround it and get lucky and save a ton of money on the next 4 years on a fifth round pick. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're still going to be the Browns. Like, I don't believe in Sanders for 1 second, but you're the Browns. So, you can either continue to be the, Browns and do Brown things and draft 50 more quarterbacks and keep trying, or you can just try to get better in other areas and let this guy manage a game. You're going to win 5 games anyway a year if you're lucky. So what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, you have 4 picks in the first round over the next 2 years.
Yeah, and they're trading. Well, actually, they have Massage Boys coming back this year, or pretty soon. They opened up his window.
They can open up the window all day. They're going to play the younger guy because the fans want him. So,
are they? They're the Browns.
The fans want him. I'm just saying what the fans
They're going to trade up and draft somebody at number 1. They're going to draft Mendoza, or they're going to draft Dante Moore from Oregon, number 1.
I don't think they're going to do that, dude. I'm telling you. I think if you're if you want to be smart for 1 second as an organization, I have it for you here. All right, because you save money on the quarterback spot. Go draft guys around him, right, and save the money on the quarterback. Like it's a no-brainer to try to become more competitive in a division that's like sort of year in, year out up for grabs, depending on, what Barrow and the health of Barrow and, those guys, right? Lamar's Lamar. Okay. But it's a division that's there. You have a good defense up until today, right? You have 4 picks in the next 2 years in the first round. So if you go draft, a lineman, a wide receiver, another D end, another corner, right? Well, you get my point. Like, just gives you a easier opportunity to win, in my opinion. Than like your quarterback, you have a quarterback that like had a rookie year, so next year you can be better. Does that make sense? Than going and doing it again. How many quarterbacks are going to carry? Like, that's my question to you. Then you're going to go draft another one. How many are you going to carry? You just drafted 2, right? You have another guy you owe a ton of money to. How many are you going to carry?
I'm just saying it's who the Browns are.
They can be
for sure. I don't think.
How do you move on from it? You have too many quarterbacks.
I don't think you're wrong.
Well, because he hasn't played till now, so obviously, even in the building, they don't think he's that good.
There's where my next point was.
Dylan Gabriel wasn't good.
I don't think you're wrong, and that's where I was saying. I don't think you're wrong at all. I'm in full agreement of that. Like, you want to spite the old man and not draft him in the first 4 rounds, right? But once the dude gets there, then he wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? Or you think, why would you try to continue to stick it to the guy just because he's on your team? Your job's on the line. You're trying to win football games. If he was better, in practice or in training camp, to me, Dylan Gabriel stinks. So how much worse was this dude?
Well, you know why they did it? It's perception. It's perception. We drafted a guy over the other guy, even if it's a pick before him, and we're going to play him first, and then we're going to get to Shador. That's exactly what they did here. Like, you can't even make it up. Like instead of just being like, hey, the one guy's better in practice, the one guy looks better, he's a better thrower of the football. However you want to think of Shorter Sanders, he's a better thrower of the football than Dylan Gabriel is. It's not even like up for debate. I mean, that part isn't up for debate. You want to question the other things, fine. But my eyes tell me he's a better thrower of the football. So I think it's all just perception of like, oh, well, we draft the guy first. We'll give him a shot first. And they really are spending this year. Again, in my opinion, if I was them, just seeing both guys, getting film on both guys, and then deciding, okay, which guy do we have a better chance of building around? Neither or one, right? And I think that's what if you're smart, you use it as a test run for both of them. Why not? That's how I would have did it from Jump Street. Now, I would have played the better guy first, but actually, maybe in a smart way, you play the worst guy first. He fails. Now you move on to the guy maybe you think is better. I don't know.
I buy it, but
I hear you.
Even though these guys get recycled all the time, their ass is on the line, man. Like I cannot see them. And I'm not saying it's not possible. I just can't see going into the meetings and saying, listen, this guy's way better, but we need to save some face and play this other guy. Like I can't imagine that. Not saying it didn't happen.
No, or you're sitting down with the GM and the owner, and it's all conversation with all of you. Those conversations happen. Like, hey, we're going to do it this way. We want to see both guys. We want to get film on both guys. We want to see how both guys handle being starters. We want to see how both guys handle, playing, and then we can make an actual decision on, which guy is our guy that maybe can lead us. I don't know.
I hear you, but I just think there's so many ways that you can fucking put, the only way you do that is I think there's so many ways you can cover. I think there's so many ways that you could have covered your ass if you were worried about that from like a PR nightmare or whatever. Hey, this guy went before this guy. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like we looked at it like, hey, we gotta steal. This guy was still here. In the fifth round. We didn't like his. His interview wasn't great. That's why we thought. Or whatever, intangibles or the interview, whatever you want to say. You can lie about anything. You don't have to, completely talk about on-field play. You can say, hey, there was a lot of factors that went into, where we drafted guys. All right. But after we had our mini camp, after we had camp, this guy's won the job. We're delighted to have this guy lead our football team. Instead, like Greg said, Browns being the Browns, they had 6 quarterbacks. It was Howie Roseman quarterback you. It was unbelievable.
No, you're spot
on. Flacco won the job. we love him.
You're spot on.
And like for all teams to like skip over them for a round or two is all cute and fine. But when you skip over them 5 rounds, every team who needed a quarterback skipped over 5 rounds. Like there goes. That's no longer just like playing a game here. You know what I mean? Like these guys are all. Their jobs are on, like you said, Sweeps. Their jobs are on the line every freaking day.
Yeah, but they still draft them.
Well, they did, yeah.
Well, somebody was going to. He's going to end up somewhere. The reasons that happens, I don't know.
Well, he's going to end up here, ironically.
Well, listen, I don't.
And he didn't want to come here.
We're not, and that is what it is. But the point of it is, we're not in the meetings, the draft meetings, and we don't know how he gets perceived. And then you start dropping. It doesn't matter. The point is, you got a guy that you were going to draft in the first round, okay, and you got that guy in the 5th. So that's the whole point of it. So you already won out in the draft, right? The guy who got taken number 1 overall hasn't looked great. This guy's actually looked better. So in a weird ass backwards way, on who's looked better in the small sample size, you got a guy in the 5th round that might look better. It doesn't mean he's better. It doesn't mean his career will be better. Time will tell on all that. But organizationally, you should feel like, holy fuck, look what we did. We traded it back. We got more assets, and we still got the quarterback we were looking for in the 5th fucking round.
And they had the built-in excuse with Flacco. Hey, the wily veteran has had a tremendous camp. We're going in that direction. The minute you move Joe Camel, then Shador should have been the starter if he was better. You know what I mean?
Or you do it because
I don't know.
Or you do it because he's young. Guys do it, teams do it because they're young.
Sure. And that's what I mean. And to your point, Cam Ward's thrown into the fucking fire. They're a horrible fucking team, So, I didn't.
Yeah, they fired the coach, and now
I guess when you don't have coach,
I wasn't a huge Cam Ward guy anyway. So to see him at number one, all right, but
Yeah,
we've seen Bryce Young progress a little bit, so does Cam Ward have that in him if he's surrounded with some better personnel and some some coordinators or a head coach that actually can last the whole season? Is there some stability there in the coaching staff that can help him have some success as well? So like you said, the verdict's still out on who's better, blah blah blah, who went number one, and the other guy got more money. All right, so again, the other guy didn't came from money. He doesn't need money. So if he's good enough and he can be an NFL starter, go produce.
Yeah, and the funny thing with Cam Ward is like the one big asset I thought would be his legs too.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
No,
Doesn't run at all.
doesn't run enough.
Statue type.
Yeah, so not ideal. But guys, give crumbs and we can get out of here if you got them. Not that we're rushing to get out, but we're going on close to 2 hours.
Oh,
so,
yeah. My crumb is 2 quick crumbs. Whoever leaked that audio, that video, that audio of Pat Kraft from Penn State, whatever athlete it was that leaked that video, you're a scumbag, and I think it actually backfired on you. It was an audio that he had of like a closed door meeting that he's talking to the team about some of the different things that are going on in the program. Some of his differences on how he wants to spend the NIL money versus the way James Franklin wanted to spend the NIL money. He wants to spend it like the big dogs do and pay the top players, where James Franklin was, hey, let's pay everybody. Like a fourth string wide receiver, senior wide receiver, Liam Clifford was getting like $500K. He had like 6 catches on the year. As opposed to, and he even said it in the end, he goes, Drew, would you like to throw to Carnell Tate? Like, I could have had him, but I didn't. James wanted to throw the money differently. And then he did. He was like, and then Michigan cheating. He made a couple bulletin boards things, but it was supposed to be a closed door meeting. You know what I mean? And someone in there recorded it and released it, and it actually made, to me, thinking Pat Kraft was screwing this job search off, and he might have, but it actually made him come off to me like, all right, this guy does know what he's up against. He does know what he's doing, and he ended up finding the right guy. It just was getting there.
And I'm with you 100%. But I would also counter that with a shame on you, because I think you said it earlier about this generation. There's a box. All phones are checked right there. All right.
Sure.
The minute we talk in closed doors, all right, and that should be in locker rooms, everywhere. Everything that stuff's supposed to be private, check it. Check it right there. You know what I mean? Because
I disagree there.
Can't have it. Right. But still, it goes to the character of this generation. It's a scumbag move. All right. But you got to also have your head on a swivel if you're a person, in a position of power out of these universities, where somebody's going to record you, whether you're a coach or not. Somebody's going to stick a phone in there, a microphone in there, all right, and what might be an intimate moment, locker room moment, all right, is not for everybody to see.
Sure, I don't disagree there one bit.
Don't like it.
Yeah, and I can understand what Franklin was trying to do in terms of building out. Like, that's a Virginia Tech move, right?
100%, Tom.
Build out a deeper roster and try to be deeper, right? You're not going to get the 5 stars, so you pay everybody. I get it.
Yeah, you got to give a little bit to everybody.
But that's not for Penn State, right?
And not when you have the money.
Yeah, well, forget that, Greg. We talked about this ad nauseum. I've talked about this. When a recruit comes to a whiteout of 100,000 fucking people, okay, that sells itself. You understand? So when you're then going to go give them big time buku,
I lost you.
Yeah,
sell the kid.
Yeah,
you sell him.
Yeah, 100%, Tom. 100%. And my second real quick crumb is the Tampa Bay Bucks losing at home to a 2-win Saints team, knocking me out of 2 survivor pools. You sons of bitches.
No, absolutely. I mean,
falling apart.
And I think
shocker, right?
Like I said, we can land on a bunch of the college football people. Notre Dame we touched on. They're the number one, but I think professionally, it's we got to land on Dan Quinn. You know what I mean? Like,
love it.
you know, it was bad. It was bad that night that it happened. Shouldn't have been in the game that night that it happened. You know, and I know it gets a little, you know, slippery slope sometimes because, you know, guys want to play and all this stuff, but should never happen that night that it happened. All right. And then there's no reason to come back this year. All right. They're 3-9.
Yep.
All right. That's an automatic shutdown. All right. There's your franchise guy that, you know, you thought you hit a home run on, had a great year last year. So, you know, that's it. And, you know, that's an automatic shutdown. Soon as it happened, that's it. And there's no reason for that guy, for him to come back. Just asinine. You know, you're the adult in the room. All right. So as a coach, you know, whether you're there's something, you know, if you're McVay and sometimes you're the same age as these guys, you know, like you got to be the adult in the room. You got to make decisions. All right. We see it at every level. You know, hey, guys want to play. And I get all that. But, you know, when something's lopsided or somebody's hurt, you got to protect them from themselves. Right. And it's the reason why Dable got fired, because not only did he make fucking Dart run 160 times, right? When he did get his fucking bell rang, Dable had his face in the goddamn blue tent and he was like, what's going on here, man? Come on back out, man. We need, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like he was in a hurry to get to fucking 2-10. Right, so there's the door, Brian. You know what I mean? You know, like hit you in the ass. All right, and the same thing here. What are you doing, Dan? What are you doing? What are you doing, bro?
I can't believe I forgot to bring it up. I'm glad you did, because obviously I came in our chat right when it happened, said the same shit. There's no reason for him to play. I mean, it's ridiculous. And the fact that we're wearing a sleeve on it after, like I was explaining to Cass what happened. You know, like this guy went down. There's a elbow popped in a different direction. Like that's out for the year. That's not, we're not, if this is like, hey, if we can
if it's the Bengals and the division is still there.
Yeah. I get it.
100%.
I get it, man. But you got to protect guys from themselves. And this is complete negligence from an organization that's been negligent for guys previously. Robert Griffin, other guys have spoken about this. Right, it's negligence from an organization that's known for it, and the reason they don't have great quarterbacks, and they have one here. They have a great kid, a kid who wants it. He's a leader, and I hate saying it because he's in my division, but he's everything you want. Everything you want.
And people don't understand the domino effect. It's the domino effect. If he is shut down, let me look into the microphone. If he is shut down, Marcus is getting all first team reps, right? Then maybe our friend Zach Ertz isn't done, for his career isn't over. Okay, that's a hospital ball, right? So I don't like the tackle. I think it's fucking cheap, but the ball, it's a terrible ball, right? So I'm not saying just by getting you're going to miraculously make Marcus Mariota this awesome quarterback, right? But if he's getting first team reps all week because fucking Daniels is shut down, maybe he's a little more in sync. That ball's a little lower. He can protect himself. Maybe it doesn't happen.
No.
I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm just saying there's no reason for Daniels not to play. Daniels should have been shut down, right? And then if Marcus is playing, he's getting reps. Maybe that doesn't happen, to Ertz. So, hopefully fucking Ertzy, he can come back or at least finish up and have, a tour with somebody where he can, retire as an Eagle maybe. But that looked terrible. And our thoughts and prayers for Ertzy, man.
Yeah, great player. I got a little emotional when you're talking about him because that's my guy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, bro.
I mean, never get yards after the catch, but catches everything.
Look on everything.
Yeah, always open, baby. So that should be his Twitter handle. And yeah, you're right. Fucking terrible hit. Go for my ribs, go for my midsection, stay away from my legs. That's been a player conversation to other players for years, right? Especially the tight end position. He's not a big, monstrous Rob Gronkowski type that you need to go legs at him all the time, right? That's not a guy. That's a guy you can go right to his chest and clean him up. But then,
and he didn't even have the ball yet. So it's one thing to your point of, hey man, I got to get low on guys. Do I want Derrick Henry to run me over? No, I'm going low. Right, but that's because Derrick's looking at me. Right, when a wide receiver is vulnerable, how is there not even a play? There wasn't even a flag on the play.
Yeah,
there's thousands of crumbs that happened in that whole fucking domino effect for poor Zach Ertz to be hurt. You know what I mean?
Like, how's the quarterback coming back with like a brace sleeve going on the injured elbow? I understand it's not his throwing elbow. I get it. But regardless, I said it to you guys right away. Like, that's not play the rest of the year. That's team meetings. That's everything you need to be in. That's film study. Nothing changes there in your development, man. You played a rookie year, right?
Yeah.
You've gotten the speed of the game. The question isn't, can you play this game? I understand the roster's old, but guess what else I want? I want a top 5 pick now. Like, right, I got the quarterback. So now if I can go get lucky and get a top 5 pick as an organization, like, this is how I think. If I can go get a top 5 pick as an organization now, I can go put something around them. I can go put something else around them. Who knows what I get? Right. I mean, I don't know. I haven't studied the draft yet, right? But you get what I'm saying?
Right, you know, and Greg was right. You know what I mean? Like, if you're talking about, look at the division you're in. The division's over. You know what I mean? The Eagles, obviously, you know, like the division was over. But even if you still had a chance at a fucking wild card, then that's the only time you're even even thinking about it, and you still might not want to do it for, to protect the kid from himself. But that was the only time it would cross your mind if you still had a chance. You know, and
division game, and he's one game back, and you're playing that team.
Yeah, we're whatever. What are we freaking 12 games in? You know, we're 7-6. We're 7-6, and we're we got a chance here. I mean, so it's gonna be tough for you to keep the kid off the field.
Yeah.
But come on, man, get out of here, dude. 3-9, garbage.
Fireable. It's fireable.
Absolutely, get him out.
Fireable. If he comes back and I don't care. Doctors are telling me it's fully clear. Like, he's clear for what? Like, clear for what? Like, hey, it's gonna put him back out again.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go. So
just like Herbert tomorrow.
Yep.
Right.
Like Herbert tomorrow. For who? For what?
Yeah. So what is hands good? All right. Cool. I'm gonna hit it with a helmet.
Seriously.
Right. Absolutely.
A snap.
You're a week away. Yeah, a week away from surgery.
I don't care how minimal the surgery is. Like, there's still bruising. There's still discomfort. Like, I don't give a shit what it is. You get a needle in your arm. You know what I mean? You get a little bit of, right? Like, I don't care what it is. So surgery.
There's nothing cheap about that. That's a little how's your father? I want you to know that I'm here. Justin, I'm gonna be here all day. Right. So I'm just gonna tap it. I'm gonna tap it. It's not gonna be enough for 15. It's not cheap. I'm just gonna tap it, let them know I'm here.
I would like a little Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, Phillips.
Carter's
No, Jalen's on that, man. I would like some of these guys that, let's get some pressure tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's find the goddamn.
Yeah, their O-line is buns. You know what I mean? I think
buns.
You know what I mean? So
I think we'd all start on the O-line for them.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wish they would just like let Becton come over here and wear an Eagles jersey because he plays better here anyway. So just bring Mekhi back over. We'll give you Steen. Let's give you Steen at this rate. But yeah, let's go tomorrow night. But great show, boys, as always.
Yeah.
Great crumbs. Everybody out there, you guys were flying in. Comments off the hook. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't. Hit the turn your notifications on.
As we're leaving, this was hours ago, but I think LeBron's family member came in and was stunned about the egomaniac comment. He said he's the most humble star there is.
Yeah, I just drove past that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you should definitely drive by. I just didn't want him to think that we forgot about him.
Humble my ass.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
don't know what that means.
Wow. Right. Got his own son drafted who doesn't belong in the league. But we can give you 50 more examples. But you do you.
At least Mike.
You believe in your hero. You believe in your hero.
At least Mike knew his kids couldn't play. Yeah, I mean, at least Mike accepted it.
Absolutely, bro.
Oh my goodness. Great show, boys. Love you guys out there. Appreciate all the comments. The best in the business. No notes. That's what we do. Birds tomorrow. Big win.
Don, great to see you, bro. Greg Miller, all the boys, defense, everybody. Great to see you. Hanging in to the end.
You guys are hanging in over there too, Don. But welcome back.
Don, I got them in the future. I'm taking the Greg Milakovich fucking future fucking bug and it bit the shit out of me. Michigan looks great. Fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I love Michigan.
It's not Michigan football. Oh.
All right, we're out. Later.
Donnie, coming to Orlando? Michigan is.
Yeah, Donnie. Hey, Donnie, go stay with Greg.
Me, Pop-Tart.
Yeah,
I'll eat them hot.
Greg, love to get some sent up here, Greg. We'll love away. Let me and Sue. You can send it either address. We'll share. You know what I mean? But we'll love the boxes. Venmo's open. But everybody out there, we're out. Great job.